Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Appreciate you, everybody, being here. I see you in the comment section. Thank you very much. Shout out to all my regulars. We're here every day. Shout out to the people who get here sometimes. Shout out to the people who are brand new. Is this your first live stream with me? Is this our first time? You never forget your first. First impressions are everything. So I hope I make a good impression. I hope that I'm gentle when I cradle you in my arms and pop your Jericho live stream cherry. And I see the super chat cherry has already been popped. And I went and looked all the way at the top to make sure I didn't miss anything. Christian, yo hoser. Got it right this time. Shout out to my girl, Ms. Pepsi Girl. Thank you very much. Kamala's gaga, gaga, gaga. I wonder, hey, this is in the mall. I wonder if, like, during mating season, if she climbs to the top of a mountain on a full moon and just gaga to the moon. That's how she would bay at the moon. I wonder. I don't ever want to get to know her well enough to know that, but I just wonder. You picture like the full moon behind her, like a werewolf would be, oh, she's up there. Gaga! Just wondering. She probably does. Let's be honest. She probably does. A lot of shit to get into today. Yes, Mars Attacks, Stephen Whitehorse. That's exactly where that's from. Or was that 96? That was a good movie. That one kind of flew under the radar. I don't hear it talked about as, this classic from the 90s, but Mars Attacks was fucking hilarious. Because that's the aliens who came down from whatever planet they came from. That's how they spoke to each other. Gaga, 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 gaga. Like that's how they talked to each other. That was their language. And when Kamala cackled, that's what it sounded like to me. That's why I do that. You close your eyes, listen to her laugh and cackle, and tell me it doesn't. You would think you're watching Mars Attacks. Same with the thumbnail that I use. Shout out to my girl Ash. She's the one who drew that for me. She does she's done a lot of designs for me, pictures, stuff that I've used as merch. You can actually get that very picture on a t-shirt, and it says Kamala Attacks, and then on the bottom it says ga ga ga. It's fucking hilarious. Very talented young lady. Shout out to you if you're listening or watching or whatever. But yeah, like the title says, is it Kamala time? I'm glad I'm sitting down when I'm about to say this, and I hope you sit down too. If you're on a ladder or something, get down. Power down all your machinery, pull over. Are we about to prepare for a Kamala? Oh, I'm going to try to get through it. I will get through it. Do we have to start preparing for a Kamala Harris president? Ugh. One more time, guys. Don't give up on me. Don't give up. I'm going to get through this. Do we have to start getting ready for a Kamala Harris presidency? Oh, I did it. That counts. I can't try to say that again. Is that what we're going to have to get ready for? Shout out to my man Gian, at official Gian on Instagram. I was just on his Instagram page a few days ago. Or on his on Instagram live with him on his page. But he sent me a video, and I'd seen it before, but it reminded me. And what a time. I think that the clip that I'm about to talk about is apropos. So there's a clip of President Gerald Ford back in the 80s, and he's in front of a class of little kids. And one of the little kid asks, will there be here? You know what? Let me play it for you. Let me go back. I was in an argument with my brother. Not about real stuff, just social political shit. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, so it's fun to go back and forth. My brother is a highly formally educated individual, multiple masters and things of that nature, but he's also a man of the world. So I learned a lot from him, but I also pushed back on his bullshit. So where is it? Well, where is it? Hold on. There we go. Check this out. It's Gerald Ford talking to a bunch of kids, and you'll see where this goes. Well, you know what? Hold on. We'll get it set up. Oh, okay. Hold on. Pause that because I don't want to, I don't want to blow my load, dude. We'll save that for when we get to it. But President Ford is talking to these kids, and one of the kids asked him, will we have a female president someday? And this is back in the 80s. This looks like 85, 86, something around there. And he lays out the plan of how we would get a female president. And man, is he on. Man, is he on target with this. And he basically lays out the situation we're in right now, 35, 40 years ago. Crazy. But we'll get to that. Eric Davidson, get me one then. He says Jericho needs a producer. Get me a producer, one that works for free. Give me a producer that works on compliments. That'd be great. There we go. I'll get to you, Lord German Husbando. But a lot of shit going on. Are we preparing for that at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Is that what we're preparing for? Looks like it. I've mentioned it before. Savages at Disney World. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. Makes me pissed. I got the single drop of anger blood for sure. Pat Benatar. Remember Love is a Battlefield? Hit me with your best shot. We talk a lot about the 80s here. You know who that is. She just can't. She refuses to sing her hit song, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Why would she not want to sing that? We'll talk about that shit. And she is 100% grade A, organic, free-range dumbass. And Pelosi passes on Paul Probes. What do I mean by that? There's a clip of Nancy Pelosi being questioned. Someone asked her, did your husband buy a bunch of these stocks because you crooked motherfuckers are about to give their industry a bunch of money and make their stocks worth more? Now, they didn't say exactly that, but I'm just paraphrasing. And she says, oh no, absolutely not. Pulls the mic. It's one of those little adjustable mics with the little bendy arm, and then it has a little tiny microphone end on it. She puts that, she says, oh no, absolutely not. Puts the microphone down and exits fucking stage. So she don't want to hear no questions about her husband basically doing insider trading or a form of it. We're going to talk about that crooked, liver-spotted bitch too. Don't forget, guys. The Jericho Greens live stream are a viewer-funded platform. MyGreenGear.com. Ooh, this little Newsom. This is my favorite t-shirt right here. Newsom with the forked ears and the forked tail, the pointed tail of the devil. Foosball is the devil. JerichoGreen.net. I'll be in my studio doing some exclusive videos just for the website. It's the only place you'll find them. $3.99 a month. Check that shit out. Venmo is GreenforGreen. Cashapp is $Jericho Green. The number one. Super Chats. We already have great examples here. First come, first serve. P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California 95961-9998. Shout out to my man Brian. He sent me a Venmo this morning up there in Boston, probably packing his car by the harbor yard. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. Friends, is inflation wiping you out? Are you cutting back and make ends meet? Food prices have doubled and are going higher. The same with the insane prices at the pump. It's going to get worse all summer long. But you can fight inflation by getting affordable, delicious emergency food that costs far less than store-bought food. You see, this food is freeze-dried and packaged for long-term storage, so it's a whole lot less expensive than fresh or canned food. We recommend My Patriot Supply, America's largest emergency preparedness company. They have an inflation-fighting offer where you can save $150 on their 3-month emergency food kit, a wide variety of delicious meals that give you over 2,000 calories a day. This is a great way to fight inflation while preparing for food shortages. Your kit ships fast and free and arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to preparewithjericho.com. Save $150 on each 3-month emergency food kit that you need. Do it now. Preparewithjericho.com. That is preparewithjericho.com. Lord German Husbando, I hope someone can make a video of Kamala Harris laughing with Jericho's "ga voiceover. That would be comedy gold. You know what that would be, but maybe they don't have to, because I think I do a pretty accurate depiction of what that harpy sounds like. And she is a harpy. Tony, what's up? Peter Chase, no, I took the last 12 feet of my garage and turned it into a studio so I can give you more content. Z Lat, I see you. You're in California too. Sorry to hear that. Sam A, yes, that might be what we are preparing for. But before we get in that ass, like a bike with no seat, good gun. That's right, kiddies. Every live stream, we started off by talking about a situation where a gun was used in a good way by a good person. Don't believe the hype. It's not gun violence, because the guns aren't violent. We are. So you tired of hearing the bullshit about how guns are bad, guns are bad, not putting the responsibility on the people? You want to hear when guns are good? You want to hear the other side? Well, you're in the right damn place. Title of this one is Good Samaritan with a Gun Saves Wounded Cop, and this is on CNN.com. It says Arizona State Trooper attacked by a highway shooter. The gunshot that struck State Trooper Ed Anderson was 1 in 1,000, he said. A half inch to my right, it would have missed me. The Arizona State police officer told CNN, a few inches to my left, it would have hit my vest. But the bullet found Anderson's right shoulder, paralyzing it and preventing him from reaching his own weapon. At 4:30 in the morning, it was dark and desolate along Interstate 10 near Tonopah, Arizona. The only other person around was the man who just shot Anderson and an injured female companion. And the attack wasn't over. The gun now empty, the man charged Anderson, striking him with the weapon and bashing his head into the pavement. I kicked him into the fast lane, hoping that a car would come by and hit him, Anderson said, but it didn't work. Anderson rolled onto his side, shielding his weapon from the attacker. I knew if he got my gun, it would be all over then, he said. Then Anderson heard a voice and gunshots. It was over. The attacker lay dead in front of him. Anderson was alive. But who saved him? A former felon. He would later learn, a man who turned his life around and found God. A lifelong hunter who begged a justice to reinstate his rights, allowing him to carry a gun again, and the one he just fired. A man who is now Anderson's friend. Thomas Yoxall, Yoxall, never seen that name before, woke the morning of January 12th thinking he'd be taking pictures by the end of the day. The photographer was headed for a conference in Anaheim, California. Ugh, they had to hold it here. Sorry, man. And had just been at a 5-hour long drive on I-10 when a patrol car sped past him. I was thinking not a good way to start the morning with someone getting pulled over, Yoxall said. The flashing lights faded into the foreground as Thomas took a sip of his morning coffee. The light reemerged, though, as Thomas approached mile marker 84. Trooper Anderson hadn't pulled over anyone. He was responding to calls of a man shooting his weapon at cars on the highway. As he arrived, he spotted an overturned vehicle just off the road and the two potential victims along the shoulder, a female passenger who had been thrown from the car. I saw a male subject kneeling and holding a female in his arms, Anderson said, so he blocked the slow lane with his car, set out flares, and called for a medical helicopter. When he returned to the victim, the man was missing. I scanned with my flashlight and I found him standing in the emergency lane, Anderson said. I could tell he already had his weapon pointed at me. The man wasn't a victim at all. He was the shooter. Two motorists were reporting to the police, and lucky for Anderson, he was down to his last bullet, and the same one he plunged into Anderson's right shoulder before he punched Anderson to the ground. I would try to get my taser out, Anderson said, but every time I would do that, he would strike me in the head and pound my head onto the pavement. That's when Thomas Yoxall drove by the scene, seeing the man on top of Anderson. He's beating him in a savage way, Yoxo said, just fist after fist. Yoxo pulled over, took his legal firearm from his center console of his pickup, and exited onto the highway. I yell out to the suspect to stop. I said, get off of him, Yoxo said. His facial expression, he looked in his eyes, was evil. His eyes looked evil if I had to put a word on it. The suspect refused to stop, continuing to beat Anderson. I heard a voice ask me if I needed help. Anderson called. I said, yes, I do. Shut up, the attacker shouted. Yoxo says he moved to his left, assuring that Anderson was not in the line of fire. The attacker resumed his brutal assault as Anderson bled from his head. The next thing he heard is 2 shots, Anderson said. The first struck the man in the chest, the second in the head. Damn, he wasn't playing. The threat was over. The attacker, later identified as 37-year-old Leonard Pianulis Escobar, was dead. Investigators are awaiting toxicology results to determine if drugs were a factor in the attack. A chopper Anderson had called to transport an accident victim instead airlifted him to the hospital. After surgery and more than 100 stitches and staples, the doctors stabilized him. From his hospital bed, Anderson realized he'd likely be dead if not for Thomas Yoxo. As much as I fought at one point, I probably couldn't have gone on anymore, Anderson said as his emotions welled. I probably wouldn't be here if not for him. Damn. So this cop is on a highway by himself, thinking that he's going to help some people. Turns out he runs up on the guy who was actually doing the shooting. The guy, while he's trying to tend to this dude's woman, they get in a wreck. She gets thrown from the vehicle. We don't know if he did too or not. Doesn't matter. He's no longer with us. But she gets thrown from the vehicle. The cop's helping her. The dude gets up, takes his aim at the cop, probably going to shoot him in the head and kill him. But fortunately, he's up, looking around, takes it in the shoulder. And that good guy with his gun showed up. You need some help? Yeah. Leave him alone. No. Boom, boom. It's over. One to the chest, one to the head. Had that guy not been there, that cop would have took one to the head. So they may not tell us about it. They may not talk about it. They may not shine a light on it. But you better believe more often than not, that gun is going to be in the hands of a good person to do good with it, because a gun is only a tool. And if you use it for what it's meant for, if good people do, good things happen. Bad people do, bad things happen. Like this fool who was shooting passersby on the fucking highway. Now, does somebody who would do that, let's say this guy lived, does somebody who would do that deserve to be freed at some point? Let's say they serve some bullshit sentence. Do they deserve to be back out in society? Can you rehabilitate that person? Can they be fixed? Can they be helped? You're shooting at people. You could potentially kill them, and you don't give a fuck. But at some point, this dude probably would have gotten out of prison. Do you deserve to be a member of society? Can you be trusted? No. Good thing justice was handed out right there on the side of the highway. Good for that man. And you know who's most thankful? The person he saved. All these people that talk shit, oh, well, they should have guns and less guns and only the police. Well, this police officer is happy as shit that a citizen had a gun and came to his fucking aid before his brains were mashed out on I-10. Ranson Shan, thank you for the twomp. Jay, do you remember the scene from Mars Attacks where the aliens are pillaging and destroying everything? Well, one of them is holding the translator saying, stop, we are your friends. They protected not only Kamala, but also BLM. Yeah, there's layers. You can see a lot of what we're dealing with now, unfortunately, in Mars Attacks. Because you have people there, officials, important people in positions of authority who are not getting it. The aliens are destroying us. They're burning, shooting shit with alien lasers, killing people, vaporizing people, destroying. But they're saying we're here to help you, which sounds like who? Which group of our society sounds like that? They're fucking us over. They're hurting us, but they're telling us we're helping you. We're your friends. We saved you 50 cents. Comprehensive common sense gun control. Waiting periods, background checks, all of these hurdles just to protect yourself. New York, making you give a laundry list of reasons before they allow you a weapon to protect yourself. Who does that sound like? I don't know. You tell me. I'm just a taxpayer. Just a publicly educated taxpayer. Moving on. Speaking of taxpayers, oh man. How many more taxes? How much more in tax money would we be paying with that woman in charge? She would be our cackler in chief. Because, okay, now I'm going to play that clip from President Ford, former President Gerald Ford. All right. Where is it? Here we go. This is Gerald Ford talking to children in like 1980 something. Hold on. With the kid's question. Here we go.
Young lady to become president of the United States.
Oh, damn it.
To become president of the United States. Well, I hope we do have a young lady at some point become president of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president. Oh. And the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die. And the woman will become president under the law.
A few moments later.
Sorry, it's showing his dumb ass. It's just showing clips of him doing the dumb shit that he does when he goes on speaking engagements. But you heard it, and that was back in the 80s. A man and a woman will become president and vice president. The president will die, and the woman will take over under the law. Where are we at right now? We have a man and a woman as president. We have a president who, an occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, who has had 3 aneurysms and an embolism. Thank you, Tishko 305. Thank you very much. He's had 3 aneurysms, an embolism, and then he said the other day, he said himself that he has cancer. He said that's why he and a lot of other people from where he's from have cancer. And he tested positive for the sweet and sour sniffles yesterday. So we already have a man in a compromised mental state. Does he have cancer? I'm just going by the words that came out of his wrinkled, filthy, lying mouth. He said that he does. We'll see about that. But he tested positive for the sweet and sour sniffles as well. And of course, the White House came out and said, it's just mild symptoms. Hey, we're just taking precautions. We're just taking some precautions. It's all right. He's been poked and triple boosted and all this shit. You should be just fine, even though he told us, again, out of his lying, wrinkled mouth, that if you have the poke, you won't get it. But he has the poke and he got it. And you're starting to see more and more talk about, well, Kamala, take over. Kamala. Ugh. And then I mentioned yesterday they were talking about the 25th Amendment, which means if a president is not of sound mind and he no longer has the capability to execute the duties of the president, then he can be removed. Who has shown a lack of mental ability more than Biden Pervertus, the sick one? Who has shown an ability to do that more than him. The only one who's come close is second in charge. You want to hear some word salad bullshit? You want to watch her talk in circles until she gets dizzy and passes out? That's the one. Who has shown a lack of mental capability more than Biden is perverted? So they're setting the stage. They're setting the stage for him to be removed from office. Now, I don't know if it's going to go down exactly as former President Ford said, if he's going to die. I mean, it's possible. He's supposedly in the worst group to get the sweet and sour sniffles, elderly with medical problems. So I don't know if he's going to die or not, but one way or another, he's going to be removed from office, and that is the dummy we are going to be stuck with. And almost scarier, almost even scarier than that, would be who her vice president is going to be. Got to have one of those. Are they going to bring up old shady-ass vodka-drinking Nancy? Old perma-drunk Dudley Moore-looking Nancy Pelosi? Is she going to come up and be vice president of the United States of America? You are going to have you're going to have clam squared in the Oval Office, in the White House. A female president and vice president. And we're not talking good females. We're talking trashy, drunk hooas, corrupt hooas. Will she be the first black president? Will she be the first Indian president? I don't know. Whichever one suits her best is what she'll be. She was the first black female vice president, but she was the first Indian American senator in America. So who knows? Whichever racial group serves her best, that's who she will be sworn in as. That is a real possibility. While Biden is quarantining or whatever the hell he's doing, I don't know if he's still receiving the presidential briefings and all that kind of shit. Probably not. Nobody can go in there. Maybe they're doing it via Zoom. I don't know. But since he's out of commission, they're going to be treating her as if she is president, preparing her to maybe have to take over for a while. If this shit happens, if Biden has to take a leave of absence, if he needs to go away for a while because he's sick or he's dealing with things, whatever bullshit they're going to serve up, whatever bullshit they tell Wyclef Jean, the press secretary, whatever fuck, whatever they tell her to say, don't believe it. But when he takes a leave of absence, it's over. Because that leave of absence is going further and further. Ain't gonna make, the president, he's no longer able, blah, blah, blah. And here we have it. Don't be surprised if Biden goes on a leave of absence. If we hear those words, it's over. She's going to be the president of the United. Still hard to say. And who will her VP be? You think she's above tapping Gavin Newsom? He was already talking shit. There's already whispers of him running for president. What better way? What easier way to circumvent us? To go around us as the voters? Biden's out, Kamala's in. Here, let me tap my boy. They're both from California. He was the mayor while she was DA of San Francisco. They've worked together before. Reunited, and it feels so good. You think that shit won't happen to us? You think they won't get Biden out of there, put Kamala in? Oh, let me tap my boy. You know she's going to be out of her league. You know it's going to be up to here. She's going to be barely breathing. She's going to be drowning right in front of her. She's not prepared for vice president. You know she's not prepared to be president. So she will get in there and quickly fail, as most people do when you put them in there based on their race. She will get in there, quickly fail, step down. She'll probably quit. She don't have no pride, no dignity. She don't give a shit. She will say whatever puppet master is manipulating her mouth. And then we'll have a first gentleman. We'll have a first lady man. Yeah, that'll work great on the world stage. And I don't care if you call it sexist or what. I don't want a female president. I damn sure don't want a female president and vice president. You got to be a special woman to get my vote for that. I'm just being honest. But if you think they won't do that, you are wrong as two left shoes. She gets in there, quickly shows she is not prepared, and here comes Gavin Newsom. Shit. And they're going to have to do it quick because we have, 2.5 more years of this dummy? They're going to have to do this in time for him to fuck things up the way they want him. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen soon. It might even happen before the midterms. What better way to distract everybody? What? This has never happened before. Fucking everything up over here while we're not looking. I think it's a real possibility. The scariest possibility. You know how scary this is? This is more scary than when you're a kid and you got to walk in the dark to go to your room. Remember that feeling? You 7, 8, 9 years old. The house is dark and you got to get to your room. You got to get from the door to your room to your bed. How are you going to do that? There's a man under your bed. There's a man under your bed waiting to kill you. You're convinced of it as a kid. I know I was. I could have been an Olympian long jumper because I would jump. I'd be one step in my room, jump from the doorway to my bed. You ain't getting me tonight, boogeyman. I don't know why you're never there in the daytime when I look, but I know you're under my bed at night, you son of a bitch. You ain't getting me. I would jump right in my bed, pull the covers right over here. Somehow or another, having the covers over my head kept me safe from murderous psychopaths under my bed. I was scared as shit. I was convinced there's someone under my bed. That's how this is scarier than that. Could you, the amount of cackling, that shit would be scary. Thomas DeCood, thank you for the twomp. Hey, this isn't the mall. She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady. Hope she's not older than 12. Yeah, you get 11, 12, you're starting to get out of his range. He don't like that. That's like a wine from a year that he don't like. Ugh. I don't like that. It's got to be younger. Yeah. Gross. You see all those memes going around about if he has COVID, how sad he would be if he lost his sense of smell. He would be beside himself. I can't sniff. Somebody get this shit out of me now. You want to see a cure for the sweet and sour sniffles? You want to see that shit disappear? Let Biden's perverters lose his sense of smell. They'll figure something out. He'll be leaning on Big Pharma. You guys need to come up with a cure to this shit now. Grandpa can't smell. That's a no-no. What is he without his sense of smell? It's like a hound dog losing his sense of smell. There's nothing else. Yeah, you want to see some results? Let that fool lose his sense of smell. You'll never hear about no sweet and sour sniffles ever again. It'll be gone. Like, oh, that shit's been eradicated. You can put that on the list with polio. We got rid of that shit. No sense of smell? Not anymore. How the hell am I supposed to tell how old they are from such a long distance away? Smell. Important pheromones get in the air. He's like an animal. 8. 8.5. Right? Tell me when I'm fucking wrong. B. Whiskey. All right. Thank you. Before we talk about getting anti-American Brittney Griner back from Russia, let's first get those thousands of U.S. citizens still held in Afghanistan. Well, that's not going to benefit them. They're not black, and if they are black, they're probably conservatives. That's why they don't want to save them. Right? That's how they feel. But Brittney Griner, hey, B. Whiskey. She's a woman of color, and she's part of the Alphabet Soup group. Boom! That's 2 layers of victimhood. You can't beat that. You think they want to get all Americans back? And if those Americans did something wrong, because that does happen, Americans do go to other countries and do things wrong. If those Americans did something wrong and broke a law, then you got to pay the price. You got to pay the foreign piper, right? She did the same thing. You got to pay the piper, the Russian piper in this case. If it's like I said about her a few videos ago, if it's like they kidnapped an American, they were somewhere on vacation or something, not bothering anybody, not doing anything wrong, and they acquired these Americans, they took possession of them, then yeah, you better go get them. I think there was a time where every American thought, if I'm in another country and someone takes me, America's going to get me back because that's my country. That's my home. Those are my people. If somebody took one of your family members against their will, wouldn't you want to do everything you could to go get them? I think. I know America is a big place and we got a lot of people, but I thought they would come get us, right? I mean, if you didn't do nothing wrong, but if you did something wrong, hey, just like if somebody came here and did something wrong, we would want them to pay. We wouldn't want their country to come get them and fucking let them go, and they don't got to pay for shit. Grafted Branch Homestead, thank you very much. I'm Joe Biden's husband. He probably said that. That's how dumb he is. Like, this shit's funny, but like many other things, it's funny because there's some truth to it. We all have a shared experience in seeing this fool not be able to get through a sentence. That's why it's funny. But his speaking ability is that bad. His faculties are that diminished. 3 aneurysms and an embolism and a partridge in a pear tree. That is a lot for one brain to handle. If you had 4 people, let's say your grandpa, your great-grandpa, your great-great-grandpa, and your great-great-great-grandpa, if they all died of aneurysms or embolisms, you'd be like, fuck, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. That means that's probably how I'm going to die. You would look at that. If that was 4 different people, you would be shaking in your boots, shit in your pants. All of that shit happened to one person. And we give him top job. Well, you know what I mean. He gets top job in the world. Leader of the free world. If that shit happened to 4 different people in one family, jaw drop, mouth agape, all that shit happened to one man. Not only one man, one old man. I'm not an ageist. I hope to be old and gray someday. Kamala, stay away from me when I am, because I know how you get around old man's pubic hair. I hope to be old. But old people shouldn't be in some jobs. Why wouldn't this man want to be enjoying the twilight of his life? You're kissing 80 in the ass. What are you doing? I don't know. I just don't get that shit. But next on the docket, on the agenda, again, shout out to everybody in the comment section. I see it's busy. Thank you very much. Bam Bam Bigelow says, as long as I go out in my sleep, I'm cool. Yeah, we all hope for that. And he probably will go out in his sleep. He'll probably be asleep, though, in front of the podium, in front of the world. But I don't know. Is it so far-fetched? Is it too far-fetched that we may not see Bidenus pervertus in the White House ever again? Is this it? Is it already starting? Bob K, MIT. All right, I'll look for it, man. Has it begun? Have we seen him in the White House for the last time? Oh, shit. Oh, speaking of him, you see his worst half, Jill Biden. I ain't calling her a fucking doctor. But she was somewhere, and she's going in, and these people are like, boo, your husband's the worst president ever. You owe us gas money. She's like, oh, thank you. Walking in some super expensive dress. That shit was hella funny. I love to see that. I love to see the people getting to bend the ear of these fucking out-of-touch oligarchs. Now, whether or not it sticks at all, whether or not it makes him think, oh, I am doing a bad job. I don't know. But I love to see people get within earshot and tell these pieces of shit what we think of them and what a bad job they're doing. Love it. Bob KMIT, I found it. Don't know how I missed it. That doesn't matter. We found it. We're here now. Thank you very much. Says this would be a funny race. Newsom versus Trump Jr. Kimberly would be funny to watch. It would. Was it Kimberly Guilfoyle? Is that her name? She was married to Gavin Newsom, and now she's dating or married to Trump Jr. Ooh, shit. You talk about, you want to see some mudslinging? We both got our Twinkie stinky in the same woman, and now we're going against each other? Oh, shit. Hey, there's no way in the world that's not going to be in the forefront of Trump Jr.'s mind. Men don't take that well. We don't share our toys. For women, I think it's more psychological. If you emotionally connect with another woman, I think that would bother them more. Not saying, oh shit, no, you just fucked her. That's cool. You didn't connect emotionally. I'm not saying that women ain't like that. But I think for women, it's more of an emotional thing. If you had an emotional connection or you fell in love, with another woman, that would really get to them. On the same token, or on the other hand, with men, it's not so much about the emotional connection. We wouldn't be so, oh, did you guys talk about puppies and books? We wouldn't really give a shit about that. Did he fucking put his hands on you? Oh, we can't handle it. We can't handle it. Perfect example. Remember that movie, what was it? Indecent Proposal with Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore and Robert Redford, right? And Robert Redford was this rich guy, this billionaire or whatever. And Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore, this was in the early 90s. So they were both, still young and everything. And they're a couple. Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore are a couple. And Robert Redford approaches them. He sees Demi Moore out somewhere and he approaches him and says, I'll give you $1 million if you let me spend the evening with your wife. So they talk about it and shit. And they decide, oh, hell yeah. They're young. Oh, we got this money and stuff. We can do this. We can do that. We can pay off our stuff. We'll be rich. Oh, it's going to be awesome. So the day comes and he picks her up, billionaire style. He has a tuxedo, gets her dressed. They go out. And of course, at the end of the night, we got to consummate this little business deal. So they have sex. And the next day or whatever, she comes back. And she's cool. She's on cloud nine. She's whistling, got her jacket on her finger over her shoulder, having a good time. I don't know. I don't think she was even touching the ground. She was floating. She just got some good penis. So they go back in the house and everything. And he's like, oh, they get the money, but it ain't cool. No, I don't think it was James Caan. I'm pretty sure it was Robert Redford. But it's not cool. She's okay. Because for her, it was just a business transaction. She had a fun evening, whatever. Now we got $1 million. What are we going to do with it? But in Woody Harrelson's mind, all he kept doing is playing in his mind her having sex with him and enjoying it. Did you have an orgasm? He just keeps harping on it, and eventually fucks up their whole relationship because he could not let go of the physical. We do not share our toys. You do not. That's like a mama bird. If you pick their bird up and put it back in the nest, they don't want it because they smell human on it. We smell another man on you. It's over. My dick will always be soft now because I can't. You have another man's fingerprints on you. No thanks. So I think if that were to happen, if Trump Jr. versus Newsom, Trump Jr. is going to be like, you motherfucker. You'll probably just catch him staring off in the distance at the debate. What? Oh, he's just thinking about Gavin Newsom just like giving it to her. Oh, that'd be a hell of a ticket, though. Eileen J, thank you. I'd be willing to bet Pervertus never even got the poke. With his history of aneurysms, no way, dude. That's a strong possibility, too. Did any of those motherfuckers get the poke? We don't know. That could be saline solution they're putting in their damn arm. They lie about everything else. But you're right, Eileen. Great possibility. Oh, the Bleminator is in California. Yeah, that's how great this country is. You can come from another country, become the governor of a state that you can't even pronounce. That is the American dream. Have a good time, man. Take lots of pictures. Get out in nature. It's beautiful. The farther you get away from the cities, the more beautiful California gets. That's the truth. Good to see you had a safe trip. Brian Owens, $10 super sticker. The sticker's not super, Brian. You are. Thank you very much. Ooh, that's a scary thought, what DC is going to look like in the very near future. Oh, shit. Heavy D. Oh, I love the what is that? The profile pic. That's one of my first designs. Nice JG hat. RIP Heavy D. Great rapper from the 90s. But thank you for that very specific amount of $2.79. I appreciate that, Heavy D. But yeah, the shakeup that's going to be happening in DC in the very near future. Keep your eye on that shit. We may have seen Bidenist perverters for the last time. Next thing I want to talk about, since we are on the subject of Washington, D.C. frauds and crooks, Pelosi. Her husband, so what is that company called? NVIDIA? It's a company that makes semiconductors and all this nerdy shit. Yeah, Mo Howard, Heavy D and the boys. Just listen to that shit all the time. But the semiconductors go in all kinds of things, computers and machinery and medical machinery, you know, the lasers and all this stuff. And it's basically, I don't know. I couldn't really understand it. I was reading what a semiconductor is, and it was a bunch of gibberish that I don't understand. But basically, these chips are in everything. And they're going to, what is it? Congress, they're going to vote on a bill. What is it? 500. Hold on a second. I want to get the money right. Wait till I get my money right. Still got Paul Pelosi. So I want to make sure I get the number right. I can't remember exactly if it was 50 billion or 500 billion. Let's see here. Oh, 52. See, I want to make sure I got that right. And it's so NVIDIA is a producer of high-end graphics processing units, and the investment has drawn criticism for coming directly before the Senate, not the House. Glad I read it. The Senate is set to vote on a $52 billion bill to bolster computer chip manufacturing in the U.S. So, in lemons terms, oh, Shauna Morgan, semiconductor nerd here. Well, I'll be looking for your comment. Let me know if I butcher this too bad. But basically, the semiconductors are in a lot of things. So since they have this $52 billion bill to basically inject into that industry in America, her husband bought a bunch of their shares. So her husband buys, I've heard things from $1 million to $5 million worth. Let's say $1 million. Her husband buys $1 million worth of stocks in a company that the government she works for is about to dump tens of billions of dollars into. And they don't seem to see a problem with that. She has been quoted as saying, oh yeah, the spouses of elected officials should be able to do that. It's their life. So you mean to tell me, and isn't she on she's on some kind of comedian shit for this. It's right out of a movie. But you mean to tell me they've been married for, I don't know how long, long ass time. And there's no pillow talk? Now I'm sure eventually she's going to pass out drunk into her pillow from cheap vodka. But until that happens, you mean to tell me there's no pillow talk? She's not talking about what's going on at work? So everybody else does. Every other married couple in America, in the world, talks about what happens at work except for them. Except for these elected officials. They don't do that. They don't. They're above that. We take our jobs very seriously, and we would not dare break the rules and the laws of our job. So when we get home, I know every other married couple in America does this, but we won't. That's what my daughter used to say when she was like 3 years old and she was mad. She put her hands on her hips and go, I know Matthew's business, Nancy Pillow Talk. I'm sure it's disgusting. I'm sure you probably can't understand most of it because it's drowned in vodka, but they don't do that. JJ Finnegan said Pelosi soaks her dentures in Grey Goose. I would not doubt that. Her swimming pool's probably full of Grey Goose. That fucking lush. But there's no pillow talk. She's not telling him, oh, hey, Paul, we're about to vote on something that you can make a shitload of money off of, but I'm not going to tell you about it. Even though there's no repercussions because we have our tentacles everywhere and nobody's going to say shit, but I'm not going to tell you how you could potentially make millions of more dollars. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just looking for the dummy that they were talking to. Because they can't be talking to me. They can't be talking to you because that means they would expect us to believe this bullshit. And they are the ones who are supposed to vote on rules against them doing this? That's like Hunter Biden voting to give himself less crack. No crackhead is going to do that. And their crack, their addiction is power and money. And there's no way that they are going to vote on slowing that flow of their drug, which is power and money, one bit. You're going to vote to stop money from coming in? Nobody's going to do that. Neither are these fuckers. Despite her looks, I'm pretty sure she's human. And human nature is not going to allow you to do that. Self-preservation. Now, I'm not saying anybody would be corrupt. But you mean to tell me she never told him nothing? You get home, you close the door in that giant opulent palace that you stay in, because nobody gets into politics to make money, right? You get in there, you close the doors to your home, your private residence, and you don't tell him what goes on at work, you're a fucking liar. And more importantly, what makes me even more mad that you're a liar is that you think we believe it. You think we're that stupid? Just because we don't say nothing, just because we don't get mad about every little thing you do, does not mean we're stupid to believe that. And they're the very ones who would vote to put these strict laws on them so they can't do it. Of course they're not going to do that. But you should have seen that shit. Asked her, Nancy, is it true your husband bought some stock that you guys are about to vote on? She said, oh, no, absolutely. Put the mic down and bounced. I got to go. I'm just glad they're not asking about his damn DUI. Where's the body cam footage? Exactly, Patrick Allard. That gargoyle that sits atop skyscrapers until nightfall to break free from her concrete shell and wreak havoc upon the people of D.C. nightly. Oh, no. You guys tell me. You tell me. Anderson Moffat, 2. Appreciate that. Another specific amount, $1.10. Thank you very much. But they don't do that. They don't engage in such things. Okay. Okay, Nancy, I believe you. Tyron Neal. Is it Tyron or Tyrone? I think Tyrone has an E at the end. I'm going to say Tyron. If I'm wrong, let me know. But thank you very much for that. There are some real stupid people out there, Jay Green. You know what? You're right. But I knew this before. You learn at a very young age that there's a lot of dummies out here. But what really solidified it for me was, 3 years ago or something, right when all this bullshit was starting to happen. And it was a women's march in LA and it was an area view. Somebody took a picture from the top of some tall ass building of all the people that were down there. And there were hundreds of thousands of people out there marching for women's rights. And I bet you nary one of them could tell you what they were marching for. There were like 200,000. I was like, and all these little pussy hats, little pussy hats everywhere. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of stupid ass people. Oh, got a little question here. Oh, no, wrong one. Comments jumped on me again. Here we go. Jessam1182. Jericho, can you explain the whole womb room is polluted? She could have my fucking baby man thing. Of course. I'm glad you asked. Yes, Swamp Fox 1732. 200,000 morons. All of them getting stupider by the second. But where that comes from is it's a scene from Scarface, which says her womb. It's talking about Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Her womb is so polluted. She could have my fucking baby, man. And I don't know. It just, one day I was like, Loco Cortez, you motherfuckers. And since I said motherfuck, I figured I had to keep going with the Scarface theme. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. But that's basically where it came from. It was this years ago, 3-4 years when I first started. I was just thinking like, and I know for all you Spanish speakers out there, I know it would be loca because she's a woman, but Loco Cortez just kind of flows a little bit better. So I did that. But one day I was just like, what am I going to call this fucking idiot? And since her last name is Cortez, Ocasio-Cortez, call her Loco Cortez. Your motherfucker. And here we are, 3 years later. But I hope I explained that answer well enough for you. That's where it came from. Check out my fucking baby, man. Say hello to my little friend. Tyron. Is it Tyron? Nora Kramer? It could, yeah, you could be right, Tyron. My bad. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Let's see. I'll go down here and see if I was corrected. Was I corrected? Let's see. No, I don't see anything there from him. So I think it was right. Tyron Neal. I'm sticking with it. Let me make sure I wasn't corrected by Tyron. Oh, Tyron. Okay. Got it. Boom. I stand corrected. Let's see. Uh-oh. DJ John T. What's going on, man? Thank you very much. You're the GOAT, Jericho. Greetings from Greta. Bugen, yeah? What is up with that little dummy? Where is she? They don't hear shit about her no more. I guess they don't need her. They'll probably drag her out though when they do this whole climate change push bullshit again. But I haven't seen that little turd nowhere. And I was cool to her when she was under 18. I was very nice to her. I didn't call her no names. She's a kid, but she's not anymore, so fuck her. Ms. Pepsi Girl. Thank you very much. Off topic. Nothing's off topic here. This is a safe space to talk about all dummies. Kobe, Mike, or LeBronica, or anyone else. Oh, are you talking about all time? Like greatest of all time? We'll get to this one too. I'm a Jordan fan. Bottom line. Maybe it's because I'm from that era and I'm nostalgic or whatever, but I'm a Jordan fan. And LeBron, as far as LeBron James goes, I know he changed his number now, but for the majority of his career, he wore number 23. So as long as you are wearing the number of that guy, you're not the greatest. If you're on a team, if you're on a basketball team, I don't care if it's NBA or Summer Rec League. If you have number 23 on, what's expected of you? Case closed. Lynn W., I'm going to look into this. She says, oh, Jericho, everything dropped against Rick and Martin. All right, I'll look into that. Let me write that down. I'll check it out tomorrow. Not that you would lie to me. You wouldn't lie to me, would you, Lynn? But, I want to do my due diligence. And if the charges are dropped, hey, it probably means somebody was lying. And if his nephew was lying, drag his ass out here to be punished. But everything I said about him probably being molested and all that kind of stuff, I stand by it. Because it probably did happen. Yeah, Goontoon, Team Jordan all day. Oh, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he ascended above basketball. He's more than basketball. When you were a kid and you balled up a piece of paper and shot it into the trash can, whose name did you say? That's it. Jordan. There might be some kids say Kobe, but Kobe got his game from who? Never mind. 62 Dirt Digger Dean. All right, Triple D. Enjoy your channel always. Laughing my ass off. Thank you very much. Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. So what we're trying to do here. Yep, Jordan. And you're right. It's not even close. You're not even close. And when you were shooting, when you're on the court shooting, where's your tongue? Was it in your mouth or was it like that? Like Jordan. Thank you. So Jazzy, your first live. Well, what do you think so far? I hope you like it. Joe, Texas, Duncan, Texas. There it is. There's the bias. Of course you say Tim Duncan. Of course. Well, I hope you're enjoying your first live stream with me, So Jazzy. Wilt the still? Come on, Nora. We're not talking about women who bang the most women. We're talking about Chris. And Wilt Chamberlain, here's what I think about Wilt Chamberlain. Dr. J, I see them all in here. Yes, those guys are great. But you're talking of all time? It's Jordan. But Wilt Chamberlain, let's be honest here, he played in a league where there weren't too many other black dudes. So you had this 7-foot-something dude who could probably put his hand up in the air like this and touch the hoop. It wasn't fair. That's just like in baseball or something. All those really old guys, the Babe Ruths and stuff, when they were playing in a segregated league. That's what I think. Wilt Chamberlain, yeah, he's up there, but I don't know if he would get on Mount Rushmore. And just the fact that it's even up for debate. Jordan is on the Mount Rushmore. He's the first one on Mount Rushmore, no question at all. Those other two, Kobe and LeBron, would they make it? I don't know. But anywho, David Robinson, yeah, the Admiral Olivia, I see that. A lot of respect for him. Good man. Wish the NBA was full of more men like him. Not a lot of baby mamas. Just asking for the basic stuff. Nothing crazy. Just don't fuck every woman you meet and give her a baby and leave town. But anyway, what was I thinking? Pat Benatar. So why are we talking about her stupid ass? Well, this woke shit goes deep, guys. Okay, and when you're in Hollywood or you're in the music industry, you're in the machine, the entertainment machine, the wokeness goes up 10 times. Kenneth Jackson, I see you. Shaquille O'Neal. For a big man, yes, he's definitely number one. But when you're in that machine, turn the crazy up. Turn the crazy all the way up and then break the knob off so you can't turn it down. That's how bad these fuckers are. So Pat Benatar, she made a song back in the day, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Fire away. That's what she said. But now, in the wake of all this gun violence, she won't perform that song. She refuses to perform her song, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, in the wake of gun violence. And she says, and I quote, I can't. Sometimes you just have to draw a line. What line, Pat Benatar? You mean the line of coke you were doing back in the 80s when you made that song and didn't give a shit? But now, gun violence. I couldn't believe that shit. I could not believe that shit. I don't know what was more surprising, that she would be that woke or that anybody still gives a shit about Pat Benatar. You see how they do? They get all famous off of that shit. They make all that money off of that shit. And then they say, oh no, that was bad. No, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. Now that I'm already rich and living on a fucking hill in a house with an echo. Now it's bad. Now I shouldn't do it. You're right, So Jazzy. Maybe she can't sing Love is a Battlefield. Pat, you ain't going to have no more songs to sing. Love is a Battlefield, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. That's it. All the other songs you made are only your real fans who know the deep cuts on your album. When people come to concerts, I learned this working at the radio station. When people come to a concert, all they want to hear is what? The hits. You can sprinkle in some new shit at the end, but they want to hear the shit that reminds them of when they were young, when they first heard it, when life was easier and more carefree. And if you aren't going to sing Hit Me With Your Best Shot, and I guess under that logic, you can't sing Love is a Battlefield, because all these big, scary black AR-15s are weapons of war battlefield, you ain't going to have shit else to sing. I hope after this, the backlash is so bad that half of the payment you get for your concerts is in fucking drink tokens and free corn dogs at the county fair, because that's all you deserve, Pat. Says Pat Benatar refuses to sing Hit Me With Your Best Shot after gun violence. You have to draw the line. Oh, man. Let's see. It probably never occurred to Billy that she couldn't do it. That right there was everything. I don't even think it's in her lexicon of thought that I can't be this person. What the fuck is she talking about? Oh, Billie Eilish. Oh, okay. When Pat Benatar watched Billie Eilish's documentary, The World's a Little Blurry, she was struck by the progress made by young female singers. How? That they show their vaginas on stage more? That they twerk more and bounce their ass cheeks up more? Is that the progress you're talking about, Pat, Patricia? The progress made. Get the fuck out of here. They're just as coked up as you were. Let's see. She was the first female artist played on MTV, more by luck than design, blah, blah, blah. Oh, calling from her bus headed for a show in Akron, Ohio, the candid Benatar talked to USA Today about the misogyny she experienced throughout her career and why you won't hear "Hit Me With Your Best Shot" during her tour. She says, I grew up in a really female-heavy household, so my experience was that there was no difference between men and women. When I got into the world, nothing was shocking to me than to see that wasn't exactly true. People were patting you on the head, but they didn't mean it. They were lying. It was infuriating. I bet it wasn't as infuriating as going down to the bank and cashing their fucking misogynistic checks. I'm sure you didn't have a problem cashing the checks from their patriarchy account. Benatar says, I was madly in love with Neil and wanted to have a baby and was like, we'll figure it out. The reality of it was terrifying. There was no help from the record company and management. They were absolutely furious that I got pregnant. My manager said, why would you do something like that? You knew the misogyny was there. But when that happened, it became amazingly clear. It changed everything for me, and I became really, really fierce. Well, can you not understand why your record company might not want you to get pregnant? Because you got to go on tour, Patricia. You can't do a full tour schedule if you got a baby growing inside of you. That was misogyny? I think that was just called business. We can't have a pregnant lady on tour to make money, Pat. But that was misogyny. Shut the fuck up. Again, rich as fuck and famous, and now there's a problem with the system. Now we want to burn it all down, girl. Now that you've gotten what you want from it, now it's a problem. They can't. You got to draw the line somewhere. Fucking people are ridiculous. I hope people don't buy your damn tickets anymore. I hope they don't want to come see your show because you're not singing the songs they want to hear. Fucking ridiculous. The patriarchy, the misogyny. Yeah, after you're paid by it, then it's a problem. You didn't have a problem cashing all the checks from those male dicks. You men are fucking dicks. Do I have to sign it on the back to cash it? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. I am so sick and tired of the patriarchy. Yeah, you can pay me in cash. Shut the fuck up. Brendan Gerzalak, thank you very much for the Twompsky. Might as well stop playing Love is a Battlefield because that is used on battlefields. Because what is used on battlefields? Guns. I'm telling you, that's 99% of her damn her cache of songs. You got like one or two more. It's going to be a short concert. Matter of fact, hey, guys in the audience, don't sit down. Just stay standing up. This concert is going to be over in a few minutes because she only has 3 songs to sing because she's woke as shit. Lord German Husbandal, that's right. She says, the context of hit me with your best shot is about heartbreaking, not guns. Whatever, though. But we can somehow tie it, stretch it, pull it, Cirque du Soleil, contort it to fit our narrative. Just the words. Shot, fire away. Oh, that's going to trigger some young man somewhere. What? Pat Benatar said it? I will kill people in a large group in public because Pat Benatar, some artist that's old as fuck and who was famous before I was born, told me to in her song about something that has nothing to do with guns. Fuck out of here. Who believes this shit? Who's like, right on, Pat, you tell him. You're really going to strike a blow to the patriarchy with this one. Eddie B, thank you for the Hamilton. Dear JG, please don't be upset that I don't sing that song anymore. I mean, after all, I can't remember anything I just said 10 minutes ago. Oh, and I'm still coked up. Secretly love the patriarchy. Exactly. It's always a problem after they've made their millions. After you've had to get nose surgery from all the coke you were doing and had to stop drinking because you had a lifetime's worth of champagne at one party in the 80s. Now it's a problem. Now that you've been on tour for 30 years and made tons of money and live on a hill somewhere where you don't have to deal with the gross working class, now it's a problem. Fuck you guys. Bunch of damn sorry-ass lying crooks. I want to see some artists just getting started who don't have shit try to burn the system down then. It ain't going to happen. Once they fatten themselves from the trough of the entertainment business, now this is patriarchy and it's wrong, and I can't sing this song anymore. Oh, yeah? How many times have you sung it since the 80s, Pat? 10,000 times? The damage is done. Keep singing the song, stupid. Sometimes they really show they're stupid, don't they? Don't they? I got a question, though. And this is serious. Don't be play when I ask you this. Friends, is inflation wiping you out? Are you cutting back to make ends meet? Food prices have doubled and are going higher. Same with the insane prices at the pump. It's going to get worse all summer long. But you can fight inflation by getting affordable, delicious, emergency food that costs far less than store-bought food. You see, this food is freeze-dried and packaged for long-term storage, so it's a whole lot less expensive than fresh or canned food. We recommend My Patriot Supply, America's largest emergency preparedness company. They have an inflation-fighting offer where you can save $150 on their 3-month emergency food kit, a wide variety of delicious meals that give you over 2,000 calories a day. This is a great way to fight inflation while preparing for food shortages. Your kits ship fast and free and arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to preparewithjericho.com, save $150 on each 3-month food kit that you need. Do it now. Go to preparewithjericho.com. That is preparewithjericho.com. God. Nora Kramer says, I love I Shot the Sheriff. Well, if Bob Marley was alive, he probably wouldn't sing that song anymore. Glad to hear it, Jessam 118882. Thank you very much. Yeah, just imagine if all those artists were that fucking woke. Yeah, she did Bam Bam Bigelow. She did that. She had the what they call the Karen haircut before it was popular. But if they all got woke like that, we wouldn't have shit else to listen to. There'd be no old music. Remember the old cartoons? Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry. How violent were those cartoons? That shit had racism, alcohol use, smoking. I love those cartoons. But one last thing I want to talk about before I get the hell up out of here. Delicious ice water. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope your weekend goes by slow and your work week is quick and painless. But also, in the description of this video, you saw a scene where I wrote, Savages at Disney World. This happened a couple years ago at Disneyland. But apparently, there was this family in Disney World, and they got into a fucking fight. Apparently, some lady got in line. She left her phone on her little Mart cart, your little motorized cart for handicapped and really fat people. She went, grabbed her phone, came back in line, and somebody had taken her spot and did not let her get back in line. And that kicked off the melee. Women were fighting. Men were trying to separate them, and then the women would break off and run around and go attack the other group. Savages, not to mention idiots, because if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of expensive to get into Disney World, isn't it? They had all matching outfits, red shorts, these white t-shirts, maybe the family reunion or some shit. You paid all that money. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He was in the radio business with me. And I was like, you've seen this before, man. You've seen people pay money to get into a show or a concert just to get too drunk and kicked out before the show starts. You paid all that money. You got all gussied up to get kicked out. I'm sure Disney thanks you for the free money that you gave them, and they didn't have to entertain you for it because you got kicked out of the park. Why would you care about that, Jericho? I'll tell you why. Because those motherfuckers look like me. I'm tired of seeing this shit. Find me the other group of people doing this shit at a fucking Disneyland. And here's the difference. The video, the one that happened a few years ago, security showed up. In this one, this fight went on for minutes. Where was the security? I know they're there. It's Disneyland. They got all kinds, or Disney World. They got all kinds of little sub-catacombs and shit so they can go under, you don't see them, and they pop up different places. Where was security? Was security scared to be called? You know. You know that word they like to throw around, like to throw around. You know the word they like to throw around? It used to mean something when you called somebody racist. That meant something. You better have some proof. You leveling those kinds of accusations, you better have proof. Not anymore. Just say that shit. Don't even mean nothing anymore. So, where was security? Why weren't they on those people like that? And then, it's all black folks. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's all niggas. Black folks don't do that. Black folks pay their money. They go there, behave themselves, have a good time just like everybody else. Niggas do this. So there's all these white people standing around looking at them. Look at them. Look how they act. You can't give them anything nice. You can't take them anywhere. Look what they're doing. This is supposed to be the happiest place on earth. Can't do it. Look at them. Wild animals. Fighting and shit, and the men couldn't control them. Come on, stop. Oh, stop. The fuck you mean? Control those women. Make them stop. What are you here for? You're just a big-ass paperweight. You ain't doing shit. Why are you not corralling these women and calming them the fuck down? Oh, I know why. Because you can't calm down a ghetto hood rat. They're beyond that. You have to tranquilize them like a lion. You're about to stick a tag in their ear or something. Couldn't even control them. Jericho, you can't control women. I am woman, hear me roar. That's not what I'm talking about. What's her name? Jill Steinem or whatever? Calm down. That's not what I'm saying. I don't mean control their life. Control them in that situation. Make them calm down. What are you doing? This is Disney fucking World. And if nothing else, do you know how much we paid to get in here? Couldn't believe it. I would never. It would have to be a situation that would never happen. There's no situation I see myself in where I'm going to be fighting at Disney World. It would have to be a most atrocious act that someone would have to perpetuate for me to fight inside of a Disney World. Now, you know what would have stopped this melee? You know what would have stopped these jackasses from being jackasses? Here we go. I'm going to go back to my improv days. Here we go. 2 black women at a Disney World. Okay, I'm in character. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to play this. Here's how it should have ended. Okay, here's how normal people handle situations like this. Okay, here we go. And action. Oh, shoot. Forgot my phone. Grab my phone, go back in line. Oh, I was in line here. I just had to grab my phone. Oh, no problem. Go ahead. And scene. Whew, guys, wasn't that amazing? You see how that happened? You see how most people, oh, no problem. My bad. Hey, go ahead. That's it. All done here. Let's get on the ride and get off the ride and go to the next one. Let's hurry up and walk to the next one because Orlando in July, that's some humid shit. That's it. That's how that situation should have ended. Let the lady back in line. Go on about your business. Not take it as disrespect and start fighting. These were adults. These weren't teenagers. These were adults. What are you doing? What kind of example are you showing these children? What are you showing the rest of the people in there? What do you think they're going to think about us when you do that? Golly, man. Some people got to go. I told my boy last night, I said, niggas need their own planet, not their own state. No. You need your own planet. As soon as you start showing the characteristics of one of them, you got to go. You're out of here. You're going to Mars or somewhere else. Get out of here. You've shown that you cannot be in general society with other people. You don't know how to behave. You got to go. You're grown. It's too late for you. Your bones have hardened. There's no more flexibility. There's no more malleability. Is that a word? You're done. Get the fuck out of here. Because apparently people can't go to Disney World and have a good time because you savages are there acting fucking stupid. Eddie B, again, thanks for the twomp. JMFNG. We're really getting tired of washed up artists who keep going turncoat on the American people. I mean, we'd never do that. Sincerely yours, actors who said we'd leave the country, and Sam Jackson. Yeah, he's on my bullshit list too. He petitioned the judge in Juicy Smollett's case to not give him jail time. Samuel L. Jackson, sit your ass down and face the corner. You're done. And yeah, where are these people? I don't see them simulcasting from Canada or England, wherever they want to go. They always say Canada, right? Because Canada's better. But here they are, right here in the US of A, still talking shit. You know why? Because this is one of the few places in the world that you can without somebody coming and putting a burlap sack over your fucking head. This country sucks, right? Yeah. Okay. There we go. D, just one letter. That's it. D. Thank you. Jericho, I'm a longtime listener, but I had to respond to your title. It's never, ever Kamala time. Keep up the great work. I'll do my best, man. It's looking that way, D. It's looking that way. This is their plan from the beginning. Look how bad he is at his job. Not only can he not speak, he sees people that aren't there. Twice, he's turned to give Casper the ghost a handshake. Nothing. He's looking over, get ready to shake Patrick Swayze's hand. Not there. Twice. We all remember the bike incident. We all remember him falling up the stairs. We all remember him landing in Israel and not knowing where to go. On top of I don't know how many other examples. I don't know, D. Don't know. Black Lake. Thank you very much for the Hamilton. But when we normal Black Americans call them out, they call us Uncle Tom. Like my grandfather used to say, there's black folks and there's ninjas. That's right. Big difference. My dad would tell me, son, they may be your color, but they ain't your kind. There's a subset of those people. That was firmly ingrained in my mind that there are two different groups, and I'm never to be one of them. My mom would tell me there's enough sorry men in the world. I'm not going to put another one out there. Facts. But when you shine a light on it, oh, you're a sellout. And again, people don't know it already. We're not telling them no new shit. They know. There's no big fucking secret. Uncle Tom. And don't they know Uncle Tom was the hero? Idiots. That's how stupid they are. Bernie Mac. Yeah, my dad had a bunch of them. I didn't understand most of them until I was grown. My dad was from yes, Joshua Morales. I am going to watch Uncle Tom too. Henry S. Yeah, he said that was Bring the Pain 96. So there's black folks and there's niggas, and niggas have got to go. But yeah, they talk all that shit. Coons, Uncle Tom, they don't give a fuck. People suck it. All of it. Go ahead. Suck it. But yeah, my dad, he had so many sayings. You ain't worth two dead flies with the wings cut off. Shit, ain't nothing. What's more worthless than a fly with both wings cut off? Nothing. Your brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow your nose. Boy, you give your heart to Jesus because your ass belongs to me. I'll have you dancing on the roof, or have you dancing like a cat on a hot tin roof. Oh, man. That boy ain't wrapped too tight. What do we say? That thing was on there tight as Dick's hat band. I don't know what the fuck that meant. But he was saying to me all the time as a kid. Hilarious. I wish my dad was still around. My dad died when I was 15, so I wish that I was older so I could spend more time with him. I could, have more talks with him, get more advice from him, and learn about him. Because when you're a kid, you just know your parents as parents. You don't even know they had a life before you were born. But to talk to him and learn how he grew up and what kind of man, why he is the man, or why he was the man he was. Not that it was bad, but just, I wish he was around to learn more shit from him. Because my dad had a wealth of knowledge and stories. Man, my dad has so many stories from growing up and in the army and shit. But anyway, damn, Vegan Cat, your dad died when you were 3. Sorry to hear that. You never even got to know him. That's too bad. And shout out to everybody, Tammy, all you guys. Anybody who's lost a parent, that's some tough shit, especially when you lose them at such a crucial time in your life. When you're a teenager and stuff like that, that's when you really need them. Teach all that shit. That's why I want to make sure that I'm here for my son. I know you can't tell yet, but I have made changes, in my diet and being more active because I want to be around for my son. I don't want somebody else raising my kid. I don't want them having no stepdaddy. I don't want them calling no one else dad. I don't want no one else marrying my wife and moving into my house and sitting in my chair. Fuck that. They're my kids. And I want to be here to tell my son the truth about growing up, the truth. And another thing I want to tell my son is how to deal with women, how to be with women, how to get a woman. I want to tell my son that women are just like you. Don't put them, now, when you get a woman and that's your woman, then you put her on a pedestal. But women you want to talk to, don't be afraid to talk to women. Don't think that they're these mythical creatures. They're just like you. Go talk to them. It's a numbers game. You keep asking, somebody's going to say yes. Shout out to my man, Greg. I had this homeboy growing up. He would talk to any girl, the finest girl in the room, the finest girl at school. He did not give a shit. And often he would get shut down right to his face. But it's like, and it would happen in front of people, but it's like he didn't have the give a shit gene. It's like he was oblivious. Oh, no? Okay, next. I admire him for that. That's how I want my son to be. Don't be afraid. Go talk to him. And stay away from the whores. Oh, watch out for the whores, son. The whores will get you. BJ Blaskovich Gaming. Thank you very much. Says, howdy, Jericho. Speaking of setting examples for kids, did you see the video of the 4-year-old shooting at the cops that were arresting his dad? Crazy. I heard about that shit, and I read about it a little bit. Insane. Insane. That dad needs to be under the prison. Throw him away because he's a moron. And if it didn't happen that way, next time his son would have blown his own brains out, or maybe his. That dude is a straight jackass. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. And if you don't want to get rid of him, give him a vasectomy. Clean him out. No more kids for you because you're a dumbass. Straight up. Well, guys, I mean, oh, hold on. Marvin Law has something to say about it. Thank you, Marvin. You don't hear that name very often anymore. It's a good name. Marvin. Vince McMahon retired today. What? I blame cancel culture. Wokeness took another one of our gems. Like WWF, Vince McMahon. Remember when Vince McMahon said nigga? He said, my nigga? Remember? That's the world I want to go back to. When you can say shit like that, and it was funny. If he said that now, oh, he wouldn't even say that now. But I'm looking at that. Vince McMahon, did he get canceled or did he retire before he got canceled? I don't know. But I remember that shit. It was it John Cena or something, or Booker T? It was in front, I think it was in front of Booker T. And he goes, what's up, my nigga? And it was like on like Raw Live. It was like on a live wrestling show. It was a promo. You know, they talk shit to each other, whatever. That shit was on live TV. I was like, oh shit. And if you've never heard of it, that's a testament to the good times. That you never even heard of it because it wasn't a big deal. If these Hollywood motherfuckers and these entertainers want to start going back in the past, they are fucked. Remember when The Rock was making fun of Asian people? Tong, 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 tong. Or he goes, durr, durr, makes fun of retarded people. Remember when that was funny? Now he wouldn't do that. Rock is 6'5", 295 pounds of bitch. There's no way he would do that now. But there was a time. I remember when Vince McMahon did that shit. And you know what I did when I saw him do that on live TV? I laughed because it was funny. You know why he did it? Because he knew it would be funny. You know why he didn't get canceled and nobody made him apologize? Because the shit was funny. That fool on live TV said, what's up, my nigga? That was hilarious. When The Rock, what was his name? Kane. He called Kane the big red retard all the time. He called character the big red retard. Nobody said nothing. They laughed because it was funny. That's hilarious. Remember on In Living Color, Handyman? There was a superhero that was handicapped, and his costume was handicap blue from the parking spots. And he went like, he was like, never underestimate the power of the handicap. And he would wipe saliva from his mouth. And when he would fly, he wouldn't even fly. He would just fall out the window and start flying. That shit was loud. And when he would fall out the window, he would say, up and away. And he would fall out the window because he was too handicapped to jump. Take me back there. That was funny. Those were jokes. And you know who was laughing hardest? That's why I hate this pussy soft, Charmin soft handshake, everything with soy milk, bullshit world we live in. Because you know who was laughing the hardest? Handicapped people who were in the wheelchairs who look like this were laughing the hardest. That's before some woke bitch would say, hey, you can't say that about them. I don't really care. Yes, you do. They shouldn't be saying that. But I think it's funny. I don't. That's the world we live in now. D, again, thank you. Vince McMahon may not be in power. However, he is still in charge. He took that. I was a WWF fan back in the day. But you can't deny what he did to that business. Made it huge. Yeah, Living Color was hilarious. They made fun of Vera DeMilo, the transgender dude that Jim Carrey, the character he would do. You think he would do that shit now? No, because he's a woke bitch. He played a dude who competed against women in bodybuilding. Hi, my name's Vera DeMilo. And he would wear a bikini. Stop it, guys. I got to get out of here. You guys are great today. You're beautiful. Yeah, man. Up and away. And he would fall out the window. And he would be flying like this. Hilarious. Like I was saying, guys, this was a great day. Great live stream. Good numbers. Nice, healthy crowd in here. An active comment section. Plenty of donations, questions, and comments. It was beautiful. What's up, my nigga? Shout out to you, Vince McMahon. But, yeah, man, I got to get up out of here. You know, the kids and stuff. We got to go hang out and finish school shopping. And my son's going to a birthday party today. So a lot of things going on in the Green household. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We will be here once again. Mañana, the weekend edition. Jericho Green, the weekend. We'll be here 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Will I see you here? I hope so. I hope you see me here. Hope to see you here. Isaac Resendez, I'm talking to you too. You're the man. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you very much. You were great. I was great. We were great. Say it with me, guys. Ooh. Hold on. Oddball. We said John Wick can't take Jason Bourne. Is that what that says? I hope not. John Wick will smash Jason Bourne. Anyway, you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hold on a second. Hold on, guys. Did we get another super in here? Right at the last second. Just like Indiana Jones where he reaches in and pulls his hat before it smashes him. Right at the last second. Lord German Husbando, thank you very much. Says, you don't hear songs like Dennis Leary's Asshole anymore. Shame. God, the 90s were great. Yeah, I remember that song. I'm an asshole. Yo, 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 yo. That dude was funny. He couldn't do his comedy now. They probably tell him, you can't smoke, Dennis. But yeah, I remember that song. Remember that song Adam Sandler had, Piece of Shit Car? Remember the song Eddie Murphy had called Boogie in Your Butt? It was a song about putting shit in your butt. I remember that song Shaving Cream? I fell in a big pile of shaving cream. Dr. Demento. Guys, let's stop now. We'll be here all damn day talking about nostalgic shit. But where was I? Oh, yes. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net and MyGreenGear.com. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.